Zub. So I definitely think I'm gonna make the change, at least as the squats get heavier, that these days are just pressing and pulling. Because mentally, that's even easier than trying to do a muscle snatch or any sort of derivative, even if it's light. Pressing, I immediately do. It's gonna have a benefit, and I can just do it. That, and also if I'm just doing pressing and pulling, then I honestly really don't need any sort of like wraps on my knee for the most part. So I can not necessarily avoid them, but I just don't really need them. Unless it gets extra cold, and then I'll throw them on just for literal warmth. That's always kind of what they're for, but under a certain temperature, it becomes more as many layers on the unimportant joints as possible. But feel pretty decent today. After training yesterday, my right knee was really sore, so it's loosened up really nice. So I'm not too worried about it for doing essentially clean deadlifts. But we're gonna do pressing, overhead pressing from the rack. Let's see if I can do about 70 again. It's gonna be the plan. I find what I wrote down. It should be about that. Yeah. The only difference, if it feels good, I'm gonna try to do up to 5 sets. Each one's gonna have 5 reps, so three to 5 sets of overhead press, and then the clean pulls. Probably honestly like that 210. Maybe I'll push up a little bit more because clean pulls are just fun, or clean deadlifts, whatever you want to call them, because I don't really get a lot of hip thing with them. They're just kind of fun. It's kind of fun to pull heavy, but the pressing will be good just in general, and to see how it feels. But it's definitely colder today. I didn't look at the exact temperature, but it's raining outside, so it's certainly not getting any warmer, and it's pretty late at night. I haven't had to use any of the heaters or anything. I think generally I'm going to try to avoid that because I don't think they help a tremendous amount. They do help a little bit with like your hands at that initial stage of like training when it's cold, but it's not really at that juncture yet. So as if I just move the bar a little bit, then I'll be all right. Especially since I'm pressing and pulling, I'm not too worried about my hands or like the bar feeling actually warm. But if it gets to like the 30s, I'm out here, I will actually need heat for like my actual hands because it will just hurt to hurt to hold the bar. But I haven't done anything yet, so I'm just gonna warm up with La Bar. So 3 to 5 sets of 70 kilos. We'll see how that feels. Should be about the same as last time. I don't imagine it feeling much different or better or worse. Do a little stretching with the bar. But I think another reason I want to change these sessions up is for the fact that the squats on the other days are getting to the point where it's harder to recover from. Like yesterday I did 180 for a 4x4, which itself wasn't difficult, but because I went heavy in the snatch clean jerk before that, it all added up to being a difficult session. So I kind of need these ones to be easier mentally, as well as just like easier exercise selections. Like I guess not necessarily like the 210 or whatever. Not going to be too necessarily easy in a pull, but I don't really have to like get hyped up or anything. So it's almost, I don't say day off, but just a lighter day as far as mental training. It's like same with like the pressing, like 70 isn't that light or heavy, but for sets of 5 it will be. So we'll do a couple reps here. trying to be a little dynamic with them and kind of touch and go, not crazily, but not passively, kind of like you would do in the bottom of squat to utilize some of that stretch reflex, which is easier to do. It's actually raining outside. This is actually terrible. um, obviously, I'm good in here. It's not going to get any colder than what it is now, but not going to be fun walking back inside for the brief couple feet that I do. But trying to be aggressive with the pressing, with that, stretch reflex, to utilize that a bit more, because it's something that when I do like a power clean off the floor and catch an overhead press, it feels a lot easier to do a power clean in a press. I just want to kind of avoid that just to make my life a little bit easier on these days. So we'll just go right to 70. I would like to do a 5x5 if it's possible, but it's got to feel easy. That's the other nice thing. I mentioned the no knee wraps or wrist wraps. Like I can just kind of get into it and I don't have to warm up that much or mobilize or worry about anything. Just have to do the work. So it's still work, like training in that sense, but it's a lot easier. I don't have to think about the technique necessarily very hard. Alright, so this will be the first set of 5. Not bad. Not bad at all. $70 right now feels like that good weight where it's like I have to try, but I'm not out there, feeling like I need to blare music or something. So at least definitely got the 3. Even if I stopped at 3, if I can maintain that on these days, it's good. And then just eventually build up a little bit more. But I don't know. It's interesting because, as it gets harder, you see I kind of arch a little bit more. So I think that's why I'll get a little bit of chest work in. Basically benching the weight up. Although 70 for a bench press would be really light, even for me who never benches. So it's definitely getting a lot of my delts. The big focus is pressing it up and back in the same vein that I would catch a jerk in. So trying to get it not just straight up in front of me, but to get it back behind my head a little bit. Same place I would catch a jerk from. Definitely a lot harder than that one, but we can adjust our rest times a little bit to make sure it's still moving and grooving. There are a lot of spider webs in here. I don't see a lot of spiders, so I think I'm training them pretty well to avoid me and just eat the bugs out here, which is that's what I'm training them for, what I'm breeding them for. I'm pressuring them evolutionarily, so when they show their face, they get the hammer. So the ones that are smart enough to avoid me get to live. So once I train out here for about 30 years, I'll have an army of hybrid spiders that avoid people but eat bugs. That's my plan. Or at least whoever's still here after 30 years. So hopefully I have a different house by then. Hopefully I'm still not in the same shed in 30 years, but I at least probably got another 10, 15 unless the housing prices adjust a little bit. But I'm getting a pump, which is correct. It's what I want. It's just not really. I don't really enjoy them that much. It's just nice in the sense it tells you that you're doing enough work, but I'd rather it just go away so I can do the next set. rather just not have one. But we'll do the third set here. Might be the last set. If it feels like that last one, then it might be, but we'll see if we can make it good. That was the third one. Is easier. I'm doing the second, which is interesting. I think I just tried harder. I rested a little bit more. A deadly combo. So we'll continue that theme of resting a little bit longer and doing another set. So rest a little longer, chug some water. Let the pump go away. Most annoying part of lifting is the pump. It's actually raining pretty well outside, which is I guess kind of interesting. I don't know if it's supposed to freeze overnight. That might be problematic if it's supposed to be cold tomorrow. I don't know if my phone has told me that. I'd have to look that up later, but certainly won't be cold enough for ice. Maybe for a little bit in the morning, but probably not for more than an hour when it's dark. Just maybe bridges. Maybe I say that there's gonna be like 25 accidents on the highway. But all right, we're ready for our fourth set. So an improvement upon the last time where I did 3. Then we'll go ahead and try the 5th set. I don't know if it's going to work, but at least do a couple in it. Really kind of, I don't know, I guess it feels like I'm cheating the reps a lot, but I'm just using the stretch reflex. Just not, controlling the eccentric crazily, which is fine for reps. I'm certainly feeling the pressing, so it's not as if I'm not feeling my muscles. My muscles are tired. But tomorrow might be an interesting day for squats. So the plan is to snatch, clean, jerk like normal. Just do singles, and then see if I can do 205 for potentially 4 sets of 4. Now it might be one of those things to where the weight, as it gets up to these bigger numbers, even though I was going to do 8 sets of 4, I bumped it all the way down to 4 sets of 4. It might only be 2 sets of 4. It might only be 1. Like, it just might not be possible to push multiple sets. But I think it will, because I did 195 for 5 sets of 6. So I don't think doing 205 for sets of 4 is unrealistic. But if my knee starts to really bother me or something, then I'll have to dial it back a little bit. But we'll have to see. I mean, it feels really good today. It's proved a lot. It was really sore yesterday and had some inflammation in it, which is weird. But that dissipated quite nicely. So hopefully, that all continues to the trend in the right direction. But today shouldn't make it worse, even though, pulls are heavier. They don't ever bother. Don't ever bother my knees. Alright, so let's do one more set. I actually have a chest pump. It's actually kind of hilarious. Alright. Alright. So now that's the goal, to kind of maintain that on this session, to be able to do 5 sets of 5. Most likely wouldn't try to do more volume. If I was able to do another 5 sets of 5, if it got easy enough, then I could add some weight. But if I just maintain that, that feels like a lot. Feels like a lot of good muscle work. So I'm not necessarily bugging to add more, especially not more sets. 25 reps is quite a lot for my little baby arms. But we're going to do, I guess it's 110, so we're going to do 110 for 3, 150 for 3, 80 for 3, and then 210 for 3. So these should go pretty quick. Then I get to walk through the rain. See if my knees are actually sore. Pretty easy. Knees aren't feeling fantastic, but don't feel too bad. Not too bad. So it's 110. So we get to 150 now. 150. Pretty easy. So we gotta figure out the weights now, so man, we'll do 80. We'll just have to take the yellow back off after this set. So now 180, another triple. So space 200, space 210. Find my straps. So you might just do one set, but that's if they feel super difficult. So we'll see. Too good. going down. Alright. Try to keep my hips a little bit lower. I did a better job there, but we'll assess. See if the hips lie. It's definitely better. It's kind of an impossible battle to win, but definitely the feeling I need to mimic on this one. So, one more set. They're pretty decent. It's definitely pretty decent, so good little session there. Some good pulls in, some good pressing. Getting huge. Alright. That's it for today. Later, guys.